everybody tonight. I want to welcome everybody to tonight's Zoom with Partner.co. I think it's the most exciting thing that's taking place right in the business world today. We've got a couple really special things to talk about tonight, but it's really important that you understand who we have as a main guest tonight. We're going to go through a little background on our company history, a little background on our product, and how to get started with. But tonight, we're featuring a gentleman. I just think this is one of the greatest stories in our industry today. How do you go from coaching youth to being a teacher, working your way up to a principal, but today having a life of total freedom? We're going to find out how and what it means to him today and why he's so eager to help so many other people to do the same. But before we get there with Coach Brent Palmer, let's get started off with our number one lady of the business, Ashley Rowland. She is right there in the great state of Florida. She has her own great story. I love it. They were living their dream life, living their dream, had their dream jobs, not living their dream life. I always butcher that because I get excited. But with that being said, she's going to lead us off this morning, and we're going to have a great tag team tonight. Folks, here, let me tell you, just like an airplane, I highly recommend you put your seatbelt on tonight. I highly recommend if you need air, give it to yourself first because you don't want to miss anything on this Zoom tonight. So I'm turning over to Ashley. Get after it, girl. This is your
Thank you, Brent. Thank you. Oh, I love your introductions always. So, I just want everybody, I know if you're just seeing this for the very first time tonight, we welcome you. And just know we all sat in your shoes, taking a look at this for our very first time, all going right through life just like you are, right? I mean, I had my dream job of being a stay-at-home mom. That's all I ever wanted to do when I grew up, and I was living out that dream. And my husband, Todd, had his dream job of being a high school football coach. So although we both had our dream jobs, we woke up and we weren't having our dream life. We found ourselves living paycheck to paycheck. And so we got shown what you're about to see, and we just got started. Listen, what you're about to see, there's two different avenues here, and you can choose one or you can choose both. And one of them is the health side of it. Whether you want to reclaim your health, take your health back, or just take your health to the next level. We have that for you. Or if you want to build in an extra stream of income, whether it be a $500 or an extra $1,000, whatever that is, we have that for you. And that's the beauty here, that you get to pick and choose and what your next steps are. So the name of the company is Partner.co. We are global. We're in over 50 countries around the world. But here's what makes us really unique and different from any other company out there is that we're partnered with doctors from all around the world. So our products are doctor created, but backed by science. And the one thing that all of them have in common is a no compromise philosophy. But what does that really mean for you and I? That means that all of our products come with 0 negative ingredients in them. But here's the most important thing is that they all come at clinical doses. They're not just fairy dusted with the ingredients that you go buy those products off the shelf are. And that's really comes important, in what you're putting in your body. Here's our third-party certifications. But most importantly here is that we have over 100 products. We've got anything from clean energy drinks to liquid superfoods, nutritional supplements, athletic performance, balancing hormones and weight loss. We sit right in the middle of 7 different multi-billion-dollar industries out there. I mean, we're already out there consuming 1, 2, or 3 products in any of these different industries. But the problem is, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm taking and buying those products, but I'm not getting real results from them. So now I look at it as just redirect spending. Now I'm getting high quality products and I'm getting real results from them, because at the end of the day, that's really what matters. So we're going to just talk about 2 of our products. This first one being the Slenderize, or what you may know them as skinny drops, balancing drops, discipline drops. They got a lot of nicknames out there. And what it is, these drops were actually created by 2 doctors out in California. And they were created to balance hormones. So they went and ran a clinical study, and over 9,000 patients went through this clinical study, men and women. Believe it or not, men have hormones too. And what they found at the end of the clinical study that everybody had in common as a side effect was weight loss. So to actually have a positive side effect to a product, I think it's almost unheard of out there. So what it is 2 bottles in a box. And the first bottle is SlenderX. It's a clear liquid. It's a blend of over 10 different plant leaf extracts. You just put it underneath your tongue 3 times a day. And it's going to get sublingually absorbed into your body. And what it's going to do is help balance your thyroid. It's going to help balance your pancreas. And it's going to also help detox the body. The second bottle is the Accelerate. And it's a blend of your pure form of B12. It's got your biotin, your rosehip, your rhodiola, and your ashwagandha root. And what it does, you're going to put it underneath your tongue twice a day. And then what it's going to do is help increase our energy, increase your metabolism. It's going to help boost your mood, and it also stabilize at those cortisol levels. So when we get bombarded with stress like we do all day long. And so we have an approved food list to go along with the drops. We're not counting calories. We're not counting carbs. We're not starving you. We don't put you in a box and tell you got to do XYZ for amount of time frame, because to me, everybody's body is different, right? And everybody comes at this with different goals and objectives in mind. So we give you an approved food list that was written by the top type 2 diabetes doctor in the world. And then we tell you to take the drops. They only work if they get put in your body. They do not work if they're sitting in the bottle. And then what happens as a side effect when you start getting your body back balanced and back working for you instead of against you, like we do every single day. We wake up and we're fighting that body all day long, right? Now we're getting it back on our side. And when that starts happening, weight loss is the side effect. And so now we're just going to share real people with real results. And this is Mary. She started on the drops, and look at her. She's down 12 pounds, but just watching that transformation happen. And like I said, everybody's body here is different, and everybody comes at this with different goals and objectives in mind. So you can see Alan's transformation here that's happened over since December to September timeframe. We got Ursula, mother of 6, down 38 pounds. We got Cannon. So you can just see all ages, all body types. We got Brittany. She's got PCOS. I remember meeting her, and when I met her for the very first time, she actually had no hope that these drops were actually going to work for her. She said, I'll take them, but they're not going to work. I mean, why would two bottles in a box that somebody that she doesn't know think that they're going to work for her when she's tried it all, been on it all, doctor prescribed diets, right? And so she didn't have much hope, no hope actually, but she got started. And look at her, she's down 76 pounds. It's never happened before. And so she has actually got her life back. Jordan, she's a nurse, mother of 3, fighting depression big time. And what she'll tell you, her biggest wins are not the numbers on the scale. Her biggest wins is just feeling better and actually coming off antidepressants. And she will tell you that her kids have the mom back. Her husband has his wife back. She feels like her old self, and that her brain's been healed from the inside out. You got Ernest and you got Rashawn. Look at their transformations in just 8 weeks. This right here might be one of my favorite stories, because his wife actually got started on the drops. Ashley, she'll tell you the biggest win here is no more night sweats, right? I mean, when you're being able to sleep through the night and not have to wake up and change your clothes because you're dripping wet all night, I get it. I mean, that's a huge win, right? Her sugar cravings are gone. But her husband started the drops only to prove her wrong. And because he said they were snake oil and they weren't going to work. So he got started, and 15 pounds down first month. And now my favorite part of the story is where he has to tell her that she was right and he was wrong. And look at him. He's down over 54 pounds now, and he's all in. I love it. And so those that just want to take their health and their body workouts to the next level, they're here for that too. So like I said, you know, we've got all body types. This is Dr. Crystal. I love her story because, you know, she has an autoimmune, but what happened is that she decided to take her health back into her own hands. She was just so sick and tired of just being sick and tired. And so what she'll tell you is that she now weighs less than the amount of weight that she lost. And she has maintained and kept that weight off. So it's been right at over 4 years, I believe now. And so look at her. This is her journey, right? So we just kind of meet you wherever you are in life and just walk you right through life. And this is all that she does now full time. And then we've got Kim. She's got muscular dystrophy. And just like all of us, she's been on it all, tried it all, doctor prescribed diets, and never had success. She was 2 years away from being in a wheelchair. And then her daughter brought home a box of drops and she got started. In over 8.5 months, she lost 92 pounds. And that's been over 5 years now. And that was her as this past April in the back of her grandson's four-wheeler. She could have never done that 4.5 years ago. And that's what I love. Again, this is her journey, right? Not ours, but we just get to be a part of that journey. So that's, you know, the drops, that's our slenderized system. This is our second product that we'll talk about tonight. It's called MOA. It's 36 superfoods from all around the world in one little bitty old pouch of 1.7 ounces. This pouch packs a huge punch. It helps with any kind of inflammation that's going on in the body whatsoever. It's got 6 medicinal there. So now we're also helping boost the immune system. And listen, it doesn't have just 1, 2, or 3, but it's got all 6. All you got to do is just go to PubMed and look up just one, look up 2 of them, and just all the benefits that the mushrooms can give you. So here's Ernest. You know, he's a tennis coach out on his feet all day long. He had tweaked his ankle. And so he's in the company and he knew to take, you know, more than 1 MOA. So he took 3 MOAs that night. And then you can see the next day, that's his ankle the next day. So it's helping with that inflammation that's going on in the body. Again, inflammation. So this is psoriasis and this is Jimmy. He's never had clear legs before. Legs have always been covered in psoriasis. So he's never wear shorts. His pharmacist would compound the spray for his legs and he's had injections. He just started taking the MOA because his wife, Stephanie, had it in the refrigerator and told him to take it. She didn't know it was going to help with the psoriasis. We didn't know he had psoriasis and he didn't know it was going to help. He just started taking it and look, that right there is right at a month later. That's his legs cleared up. And then we've got Miss Deborah. That's rheumatoid arthritis in her thighs. And then you can just see, so she did a whole box of MOA, which is 30 pouches in a box. She did a whole box of MOA within 20 days. And that's that middle picture. And then that's her over there on the far side standing up. So you can just see night and day in her. She's just glowing, full of life, not walking around in pain. And then it's also for athletic performance. It helps with that recovery and it allows you to get back in those in that gym and that workout. So like I said, this pouch of 1.7 ounces packs a huge punch from reducing inflammation to boosting immune system to athletic performance. You know, this pouch is not juiced up and it's not watered down. It's pure liquid nutrition at the cellular level. All right, so we have just talked about 2 out of 100 products that our company has. I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to talk a little bit now more on the business side because that's really what we're here for tonight, right? So if you've ever wanted to be at the right place at the right time, I know it sounds a little cliche, but you really are. There's been kind of like this perfect storm that's been brewing out in the world over the last couple of years. And that's taken like 4 markets and it's really merged them together from the global events that have happened. One being the health and wellness industry. Today, everybody is way more aware of their health than what they were a couple of years ago. 2, that technology revolution. I mean, who would ever thought that this little gadget right here could shrink the world down like it does on a global scale? But not only that, because of the last couple of years and the global events that have happened, all ages now are way more familiar with technology today than what they were a couple of years ago. And then that home-based business world, I mean, you know, we were all sent home a couple of years ago. So nobody really wants to be at home, but yet they don't want to be back in that cubicle. They don't want to punch that clock either, right? We all want that flexibility, that mobility to be able to work where we want to, when we want to. And then that last piece of the puzzle is that the mobility payments in that transaction world. You know, a couple of years ago, you may have Venmo on your phone, and that was what, to pay the babysitter or maybe transfer money to or give money to your kids. Today, and that was just a few people, right? That wasn't the masses. The masses today now have not just one, not just two, but probably all three or four, from, you know, Venmo to Cash App to Zelle to PayPal. We've got it all, right? Which one do you take? So that transaction, that mobile payment option there is, it's just a natural reaction now on how to pay somebody. It's not that, you know, oh, I'm leery of any of that. That has been removed out of the equation. So with that being said, that's that perfect storm of being in the right place at the right time with our company. Because this is how easy it is to get started for $29.95 one time. That's it, just one-time fee. That gets you that global virtual franchise. Because remember, I told you we're global. We're in over 50 countries around the world. So now for $29.95 one time, that gets you a website and access to all 100 products and to all 50 plus countries that we're in. And you just click on that country, click on that flag, all those products in that country will pop up. The currency will switch over for you, and bam, there you are. Then you get a back office that keeps track of everything for you, from your customers to your orders to your paychecks. We've got an app that you can run your whole business right from your phone, and tons of training and tools needed to have success for your business. This is how easy it is to get started. It's a 4-pack of drops. You sell 3 and you get yours for free. That'll cover your box, but also will cover the cost of your $29.95. So now you've got a free business. And I really don't like to use the word sell, because I'm not a salesperson. I cannot sell anything, but I can share. I can share my journey. That's all we do. So if you could share by either 1, word of mouth, or 2, social media, it's whichever one you choose to share with. It doesn't matter. If you choose social media, we've got a success here that help you get your business off the ground and have success right out the gate. And that is, we just download this app. And once you get it downloaded, we'll send you a link. It'll upload right into your app for you. And we will help you launch your business right away. So you're not in this by yourself. Now you're taking your drops and we're turning them into profits. That's what gets that money into your hands tomorrow, next week. That's that life-changing cash flow that can come in immediately and make a difference in your household. But we're so much more than just selling a box of drops. I promise you, we've got a real business here that has allowed people to just change their life to a degree that you only hear about. But because you're going to hear from somebody that has absolutely changed his life, that would blow your mind. And so with that, our company, we've got the #1 pay plan in the industry. You do not have to take my word for it. You can go Google it and look it up for yourself in the Better Business Home magazine. Our company, we get paid here 9 different ways, not 1, not 2, but 9 different ways. I don't know about you, but where I worked, I never got paid 9 different ways. Ty, being a football coach, he only got paid 1 way. We didn't get paid 9 different ways. Fred, did you ever get paid 9 different ways before?
No, ma'am. As a bricklayer, I used to pray that I got paid.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So to unlock that paycheck is one simple qualification here is you set up a subscribe and save. And what is that? It's 100 points worth of product or $150, whichever one comes first. That unlocks that weekly paycheck. It unlocks that 30% discount of within all 100 products within our company. Here's the most important thing. There's no contract here. It can be changed up every month, and it does not have to be you. It could be a customer that orders from you once a month. And it's going to bill every fourth Friday. It's that simple. But one of my favorite ways that we get paid is our savings bonus. You just hit a few qualifications, and when they do, the company starts setting aside what we call free money into an account with your name on it. When it hits $10,000, they call you up, congratulate you, and then they direct deposit that into your next Friday account when you get paid here. And then after that, instead of getting paid 4 times a month, you now get an extra check up to $2,000. And that could be your car note. It could be your house note. It could be retirement, kids' college education, vacation, getting out of debt. It's different for everybody. And that's what I love. It's giving you choices and options to be able to do with what you want to, instead of putting you in debt into like a car program or something. So we also have vacations here to win. We've got Tahiti coming up, and then we've got one for the Bahamas. So just get back with the person that invited you here. We can explain those details a little bit more in depth if you so wish to, like to travel, like to make a little extra money and get healthy along the way. I mean, it's a trifecta right there. But I want to bring up, Fred, you want to help bring up our special guest tonight. Like you had mentioned, he was a teacher, a coach, a principal, just going right through life, right? Like all of us. And then how he's changed his life. Who would have ever thought, right? When you take a look at something like this for the very first time, just to make a little extra money.
Yes, I'm excited because here's what I like and admire the most about Coach Brent Palmer. It's not what he's done for himself, and it's big. But boy, what he's done for thousands and thousands of others. I was in Florida recently. I'm not on Mr. Brent's organization, but we're all better together. And he invited me to one of his homes he was staying at or renting or whatever. They had a rep appreciation. I'm not on his team, but I'll tell you, he made me feel like $1 million. And I didn't forget that. And I watched how he treated everybody in that room. Nobody was a nobody. Everybody was a somebody. This is his great key to success. But I'd like to really hear his early struggles because, the number one complaint I've always heard, I don't know if it's for everybody, the teachers complain about the pay. And we probably could all agree it could be better. But he discovered a way, not only if they love teaching, they could do both. But I just want to hear about your great story. And then I have a great question to ask you towards the end, if you don't mind. Brent Palmer, all yours, sir.
Fred, thank you so much for having me. And it was so funny. I'm looking at this picture right here. One of them, I don't look very happy in the blue. So Ashley asked me for pictures today, and I said, I didn't even have a Facebook during this time. So I had to go back to the Polaroids and take pictures with my iPhone to the picture to make some here for tonight. So it is an absolute pleasure to be here. And I'll share with everybody where I was at. As you can see, I was a high school football coach in the state of Alabama. I went on to be a principal and an athletic director for one reason. It was a raise in pay. As you can see, I have no pictures of me being a principal because, well, I was the disciplinary principal. So nobody wanted to take pictures of me then. So, but I was stepping up in my pay. Why? Not because I wanted to leave coaching. I just needed to provide more for my family. And we've got 2 kids of our own. And we had at the time taken twin boys in to live with us while I was an educator. And it is tough. Fred mentioned it. I mean, on an educator's salary, I mean, even a person making 6 figures a year this day and time, groceries, gas, kids' expenses, ball, I just think of all that comes out during the month, there's no money left over. And that's really where I was at. I was sitting there. I had my dream job as a coach. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved going to work every day. There was only one problem. I was always stressed out financially. a couple of things I was appreciative of was credit cards that I could max out and hopefully get some tax money back at the end of the year to pay it off and start that cycle all over again. And I was used to 6 months, same as cash. I thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, if I can go buy a washer and dryer on 6 months, same as cash, I'll work to pay it off, and then something else will break. And that was just the life we lived. And then this industry came through. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I joined probably should have been nutritionally. It probably should have been for my health. I was in my 30s, but it really wasn't. I wanted some breathing room. I wanted some financial breathing room at the end of the month. And I wanted to diversify my income. And so I'm talking to you tonight, like, I don't know where you're at, but an extra $500, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, when I got started, was going to change my month to month living. And that's the reason I got in. I got in and said, what's the worst that can happen? I take this product, I do what they tell me to do, and let's see what it turns into. And Fred, crazy enough, we got in and we started sharing. And I started seeing other people see the value. I started talking to people about the possibilities of what if we grow this together? What if we unify together? What if we do this and take care of each other and start to take the product, start to work on our own health, but also start to share it, right? Every company has had to be shared. Like Walmart is a company, and over time it's grown to being what it is today. And so that was where my mindset was. It was really to just create something financially that would help me make it from paycheck to paycheck. And call me a small-minded human. That's all I was worried about. So that's why we got started. And I never want to miss that, Fred. I never want to go back to a place and go, well, I forget that an extra $500 a month was that big of a deal. I always want to remember. I can remember when I started in 2011 that when I pumped gas, it stressed me out. I was spending all my extra money on gas to get to work. That's not fair. I remember, going to a restaurant, looking at the kids and going, hey, maybe we share this, maybe we do this. And not that that's terrible, but it was just like, do I have to do that? I remember the kids going, can we go to Disney World? And it's like, well, and I always had an excuse. I remember, and I never want to forget those feelings, because that is what drove me to get out of that place. And this industry did it. We got started. We started making an extra $500 a month, and we just continued to do the basics. And here's what I'll tell you tonight. If you're on here and you're listening for the first time, I needed a play. I call it the play. I believe whether you're coaching football or you're a principal of a high school or you're doing this industry, there's about a half a dozen things that really make this thing tick, that makes this thing go. In football, it's the blocking, it's the tackling, and basketball, free throws, layups, about a half a dozen things that create success. In our industry, I call it the play. I'm like, there's about a half a dozen things that if you would do them daily, you could really create another revenue stream, another opportunity for financial rewards at the end of each week. And I just started doing that. And I wanted to be this person that just clapped on everybody having success. I wanted to run my own race. I knew where I wanted to go, and that was to get as far away from broke as I possibly could. And this industry gave me that. I wanted that. I wanted to get as far away as I could. And so today, yes, I had a 5-year plan. I'll end with this and answer any questions, Fred, but I had a 5-year plan, because here's where my mind was. I'm going to have a job in 5 years. I'm going to be working in the educational system in 5 years. So my whole deal from the day I started was 5 years down the road, I wanted to have breathing room. I wanted to have money where I didn't have to say no. I wanted to have money where I didn't have to stress over putting gas in my car. It was all the simple things in life I wanted to have money for. And I'm like, if it takes me 5 years to get there, I'm working on my health. I'm going to have a job in 5 years. So there's no harm here. There's no risk here. There's just big time opportunity. Fred, what I'll tell you didn't take me 5 years. I went to work, working 80 hours a week as a high school principal. I went to work and I said, any off time, I'm going to cheat time out of my day to work this business daily. Took me about 2 years, created a revenue stream that far exceeded my educational salary. And I ended up retiring.
That you went to school with, that you went to school for, that you graduated. I mean, you took years to go get that degree, right?
Years to go get the degree, making a 6-figure income, replaced it in 2 years in this industry. In May, I waved my last school bus out and I thought, Lord, are you really telling me I'm going to leave education? I loved it. But I saw the possibilities of what I could grow this into if I left and had the time to do it. I stepped out in 2013, went full-time in this industry and never looked back. My mentor told me, I said, you think I can do it? Because I gave up retirement. I gave up like insurance, all that stuff that we tell ourselves, like, you can't do this. Everybody thought I was crazy. I called my mentor and I said, do you think I can do this? And he said, if you'll go work it full time and not retire, not go on easy street, you absolutely can grow it from there. Listen, I left there. I got up every day, went to work, got out sharing this, had fun with it. The third year was my first year that I hit $1 million in earnings in one single year. And, I just thank God every day for this opportunity. I thank God for this company, for the profession. And, but I never want to forget what it was to be that guy praying for more money at the end of the month, because that's where I lived for a long time in my life.
I think it's great because I always say, be careful what you pray for, right? Because God does have a sense of humor. Because I think all the time, like, this is what he brings us, because in our minds, we put them in a box because we're praying for something. We just know that way we already got it figured out, right? Just come on, God, give it to us, right? And then he brings us this. This is the vehicle just to get us where we want to go. So he's answering those prayers. It's just the vehicle. But Fred, you got anything else you want to ask?
Yes, I do. I heard you recently on a Zoom. And by the way, he's going to be on our international Zoom tonight with corporate. He's being featured. And of all this big as this company, he's the guy tonight. He is the head coach for this company tonight. You got to tune into that. Recently, I heard you talk about you love deep sea fishing, and you do things for yourself. What does it feel like just to be able to make those plans and give no thought to the cost and go when you want to go, and I guess get to come home when you're ready? What does that feel like? And then I have one follow-up question with that.
Yeah, that's sometimes it's really hard for me to even put it in perspective. Time freedom. Like I try to do the best job I can. I'm not real big on bragging on myself or talking about all, the financial rewards. Guys, this has been like beyond unbelievable financially. For me, my family, what I can leave my kids because it's willable, like brings me so much joy. Like if I left education, once I'm done, I'm done. Like, here, I can build a dynasty and leave it to my kids. What a better legacy. Like it excites me to think about. But Fred, talking about I think time freedom was I still work. Like I work this every day. It's a different type work because when I see somebody like David Ferguson that's on here tonight, I see products that help him be a healthier version of himself. Like, that excites me. I see Linda Ross on here from Arkansas, and I'm like, I know these products are extending and making her life longer. that excites me. It's like, who else can I share this with? Who else can I put these products in their possession to get that opportunity to extend their life and have a healthier version of their life? And also the financial side, like it's work, but it's not work when you start to see people make that extra money, diversify their income, have multiple streams of income, leave their job and celebrate that time freedom that allows. And so for me, Fred, I try to do a good job of experiencing or telling people about time freedom, but recently is the best way I can put it. Recently, about every 90 days, I go to Bimini. I'm going to tell you this quick story. I'll be quiet. I go to Bimini. There's this little bitty island in the Bahamas. It's beautiful, beautiful, most beautiful waters I've ever been to. That's why we go there every 90 days. And we spend 4 or 5 days there. I love to deep sea fish. Right off the island is some of the deepest waters you can fish in. It was actually Hemingway written, and he wrote and actually had a home on this island, and he wrote Island in the Streams. And so I go there, and it's a reminder to me of time freedom. It's a reminder to me when I see these big yachts coming in. We have an 82-foot Viking that we keep at West Palm Beach, and we go over. It's about a I'm trying to give you a vision. It's about a 2.5 hour boat ride over. We enjoy that boat ride over, and then we're in Bimini. Beautiful waters. But here's the thing. I have this device right here. So every now and then I'll skimmy up to the top and I'll do a Zoom, or I'll make a call, and that's work. That's work, right? I share with somebody our hormone balancing skinny drops, as people call them. I share with somebody the opportunity of this company. Nobody knows our name, partner.co. We'll probably do well over $300 million this year, and we're unheard of across the world. So I share with people the timing, but I'm doing it from Bimini. I'm not doing it like in my office as an assistant principal where I got to stay there for 10 hours during the day. I'm mobile. I can take that call at the airport, jump on a plane, be in the Abacos where I love to fish. And so for me, time freedom is not like, oh, I don't work anymore. Time freedom is like, oh, I can work from anywhere. Like there's no boundaries. And I just believe, Fred, when this, like if you love helping people, if you love seeing people excel in their health, in their financial situation, in just their growth, from a mindset standpoint, this industry is meant for you. Like we're calling you saying, join us, because that's what we do. We find out where someone's at, and we help them get to where they want to go in their health, in their finances, in their personal growth. We literally lock arms with you and say, you know what? We're going to do this together. You take a step, I'll take a step with you. And if that's kind of your calling, if you're like, yeah, that sounds like a really cool life, then we really have something we can retire into and don't have to work to retire out of. And that's where I was in education. It's like, man, I'm thinking about retiring 30 years down the road. Here, I don't want to retire. I want to spend my life seeing people impacted by our products at partner.co and by the opportunity of our number one compensation plan, making a difference in the lives of people we touch.
That moves my heart, sir. Let me ask you a final question. On Wednesday, just before Thanksgiving, some announcements were made. And I know this industry, when you help somebody get a promotion, you basically help them increase their income. I don't think you have the total number yet, because the numbers, I'm talking about from maybe Wednesday afternoon till this morning. How many people do you think, just off the top of your head, you help get promoted to this system of simple 6 steps a day, basically?
Fred, I'll tell you this, for everybody on here, I have built at a high level in this industry for a while now. I've never seen a system like we got our hands on. Like I have never seen something where people are creating an attraction. Like people are coming to us saying, tell me about this product. Tell me about these drops. Tell me about this company. People are coming to us. Why? Because we've created a system that an 8-year-old could figure out how to do. So when someone comes in, if you're here tonight and you're a guest and you go, you know what, I want to do something bigger in 2024, not even with my health, but also my finances, $29.95 one time. Like there is no reason to miss this opportunity. And then somebody that brings you in is going to show you this system and you're going to go, holy smokes, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. It literally takes me seconds to do for an opportunity to collect sales and revenue and profits. And so for me, Fred, Thanksgiving, most people, it's Thanksgiving. They take the week off. We last week had our biggest week ever, North America, in our company. I don't know how many ranks were broke. Hundreds and hundreds of ranks were broke. Big ranks were broke. Like we have people breaking ranks that now just in base commissions alone is $4,000 a week. You know, tap into all the other parts of the compensation plan. It's no telling what it's going to grow into. And I would love to think that I had a little bit of impact on that, no matter what team they're on. I look at it like this, and this is very unique, Fred, in this company. We blur the lines of sponsorship. This is not about Ashley's team or my team or Fred's team. This is about all of us unifying, locking arms, helping each other, and building the biggest company around the world. And so when somebody that is not directly financially tied to me breaks a rank, I celebrate them like I would celebrate anybody on my team. I'm so happy for people because I believe if we lead with love, we take care of people, we're an unstoppable locomotive. Like we're going to go to the top of this industry, and we're all hearing about this and we're involved with this right now when the world has no clue. That is the perfect timing. So Fred, thanks for having me on.
It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you, Nate. Thank you, Ashley. I told you would need your air mask, ladies and gentlemen. Breathe. It's okay to breathe. Just get back with the person who invited you tonight. And let's launch this thing together because the partner.co, we're better together. God bless you, Brent Palmer. We love you and appreciate you, sir. Good night.
God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.